When a prospect says, I need to think about it, or it's too expensive, most salespeople think that's the real objection. It's not. The real objection is hiding underneath, and if you can't find it, you'll never get the deal. Today, I'm breaking down how the top 1% closers handle things completely different. We're talking about the 5 hidden objections, the loopback technique, and how to use pre-framing so objections never even come up. Let's get into it. Here's what most people don't understand. When someone gives you an objection, they're not telling you the truth. Not because they're lying, because they don't even know what the real issue is. So they say surface level stuff like, it's too expensive, I need to think about it, or let me ask my wife. But underneath all that, there are only 5 real objections. Number 1, they don't trust you. Maybe you didn't build enough rapport, you didn't position as an authority, or they don't believe that you really know what you're talking about. Number 2, they don't trust the product. They're not sure that it'll work for them. They've been burnt before. They need more proof. Number 3, they don't see the value. They think the price is too high because you haven't shown them what they're actually getting. You haven't sold the outcome. Number 4, they don't feel urgency. They think they can come back to this anytime. There's no real consequence to waiting. And number 5, they truly can't afford it. This is the only real money objection. Everything else is just a value objection disguised as a price problem. Once you understand these 5 things, you'll stop reacting to surface level objections and start digging deeper to find what the true problem is. And that's when you can actually close. All right, so how do you find the real objection? By using something called the loopback technique. And here it is. Let's say someone says it's too expensive. Most salespeople immediately try to defend the price. Well, actually, when you break it down monthly or compared to our competitors, or if you look at the ROI, wrong move, because you're answering an objection that they hadn't even asked you yet. Instead, loop back and ask a clarifying question. I can appreciate that, Mr. Prospect. Now, let me ask you, what exactly feels off about the investment? Now watch what happens. They say, well, I'm just not sure this is going to be a good fit for my situation. Boom, there's the real objection, hiding underneath. It was never about the price. It was about his trust in the product. So now you don't have to waste time defending your price, and you can address the real issue. You can show them proof of other customers or clients that have had success that they're seeking. The loopback technique gives you clarity, and clarity is what closes deals. Stop fighting surface level objections, dig deeper, and find the real problem. Now, here's where top 1% closers really separate themselves. They don't just overcome objections, they prevent them from ever happening. Now, here's where top 1% closers separate themselves. They don't just overcome objections, they completely eliminate objections before they ever come up. And it's called pre-framing. Pre-framing means that you address the objection before the prospect ever brings it up. You stay in control of the narrative from the beginning. Let's say you know people are going to say this is too expensive. So early on in the conversation, you might say something like, we're not the cheapest out there, but here's why our clients are happy to pay a premium or invest more. Boom. Now you just pre-frame the price in advance before it ever became an objection. Or let's say with your offer, you know people tend to have a timing objection. So early on in the conversation, you might say, now a lot of times people think they might need to wait for X, Y, or Z to happen, but then they were able to find that, boom, now you pre-framed the timeline objection before it ever became a problem. You see what's happening? You're not waiting for resistance, you're getting ahead of it. You're giving them the answer before they ever have to ask. And here's the magic. When you pre-frame properly, objections just never come up because you've already handled the psychological resistance in their mind. This is what elite closers do. They don't just overcome objections, they completely eliminate them in advance. And that's the difference between grinding through closes and making them feel effortless. Now, let me leave you with this. Objections aren't logical, they're emotional. Somebody doesn't say it's too expensive because they did the math. It's because they're scared. Scared they won't get to the outcome, scared they won't get to the goal, scared they'll waste their money or get burnt like they have been previously. Your job isn't to overcome those objections. It's to make them feel safe and confident in the decision that they're gonna make. When you build trust, show proof, demonstrate value, and create urgency, objections disappear. Not because you handled them, but because you eliminated the fear that lies underneath them. That's the psychology of resistance, and that's what top closers understand. All right, y'all, let's bring it home. There's only 5 real objections: lack of trust in you, lack of trust in the product, you haven't built enough value, no urgency, or true lack of affordability. So be sure to use the loopback technique to find the real objection. Help me understand what specifically feels off. Then pre-frame objections so you can control the narrative from the beginning. And remember, objections are emotional, not logical. Your job is to remove fear, not overcome resistance. Now, if this has helped you see objections differently, drop a comment below and let me know. And if you want more advanced sales training just like this, be sure to hit subscribe. We've got more stuff for you coming every week. And if you need some one-on-one guidance and looking for your first high-ticket placement, be sure to join Closer Circle, where we have all of that and much more for you. As always, I'm Garrett. All my friends call me G Money. And until next time, guys, I'm out.